expansion in history from Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And then, like everything else he inherited, he ran it straight into the ground.
Joe Biden says it's now time to rebuild America from the ground up.
All folks are looking for, as my dad would say, is an even shot. Just give me a shot, a fair shot, a shot at making it. And it'll be the work of our administration to make sure they get a fair shot. Working families need someone on their side in this nation because they certainly don't have anyone in the president now on their side.
So as Biden and Harris officially embark on the race to the White House, Biden says change is coming, not just to the White House, but to the nation and to the world.
One of the reasons I chose Kamala is because we both believe that we can define America simply in one word: possibilities.
Michael?
Thanks, Linda. Linda Kenyon reporting for First Light, and it is 12 past the hour.
Coming up in sports, the Blue Jays get Buffalo. I'm Robert Workman on First Light.
We're back in 2 minutes with a check on Iowa farms.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey folks, that long list of summertime bargains just keeps getting better at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. For example, crepe myrtles, which were regularly $9.99, are marked down to $3.99. Prices have been slashed by half on fruit trees including peach, apple, pear, avocado, banana, cherry, mulberry, guava, and blueberry, 50% off. The whole range of citrus trees, many bearing fruit right now, just $59.99, and you get a free bag of fertilizer. In shade trees, it's buy one, get one at half price. Large trees from just $19.99 to gigantic jumbo trees for $5.99 delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check the ad, BobWinesCameliaGardens.net, and get there early. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, daily till 4:30 in the same blooming place since 1952.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Come and join the Marion County Search and Rescue on August 15th at AMF Galaxy East. This is a fundraiser to support this all-volunteer community organization. It's open to everyone. No scratch games, no handicap. Just lots of fun for a great cause. The cost is $25 per person. It's a 40-frame game. There will be a 50-50 raffle and prizes. Cash award will be given to the top 3 bowlers. Again, that's August the 15th at Galaxy East. Walk-ins welcome, but early registration is recommended. Contact Galaxy East for more information and register. 352-694-1111.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, president of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
WOCA.
Well, frankly, folks, the garden deals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens are so good this week. The best thing to do is go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net and check them out for yourself. Bob has crepe myrtles, now just $3.99. All summer succulents, 50% off. Get a whole big tray of 18 summer blooming annuals, just $18.99. All blooming and foliage hanging baskets are buy one, get one at half price. Button gardenia, buy one, get one free. And all chimes, pottery, indoor foliage, and more in the old-timey greenhouse are reduced 10 to 20%. And of course, all shade trees, buy one, get one at half price. Get on over any day this week, but come early for the best selection on the best deals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Lake Weir, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots. High 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184. WOCA.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
Okay.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. Stole many moment of doubt and pain. Made damn sure the pilot washed his hands and sealed his face. Pleased to meet you, hope you guessed my name. But what's puzzling you?
Ooh, good morning, everybody. As you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we welcome you to our show, August 13th, this Thursday. Thursday. It's that one Marvel character guy's day, the Big Hammer. Carry Big Hammer. Speak softly, Carry Big Hammer. Good morning, everybody, as we welcome you to the show. 73 degrees outside. Although it doesn't feel like it, it is way stickier than it has been the last few mornings, that's for sure, as it is humid out there, with an expectation of everything we've seen for the last few days is repeated today. As we look at the forecast for today, heat index valued over 100 with a high near 93 degrees, 60% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, as we've been having them a little bit earlier in the day, but then once they do happen, they kind of move on fairly quick. Like last evening, it was beautiful, and it cooled down a little bit, a little less humidity, but at the same time, still a little hot, but beautiful nonetheless. Now they say 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Is that a lead into tonight? As they say, there's a 60% chance of those showers and thunderstorms into tonight, as that'll bleed in. And then Friday, 70% chance with a possibility of showers and thunderstorms early as 2 p.m. tomorrow, with chance of rain 70%. Heat index value tomorrow at 105. And then we see the same thing carry into the weekend. As we get closer to the weekend here, Friday, we know like we talked about, seen a 70% chance. Well, Saturday the same, with the heat index valued over 100, and Sunday, 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms likely as well, as we see through the weekend that they may be happening just a little bit earlier and earlier. As that continues to happen. We got a good show for you lined up for this Thursday. We had a good one yesterday. Boy, we were busy yesterday, just moving right along. And it's been a good week so far. So if you've been listening in, thank you very much. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source, as we're keeping you a little informed, a little entertained to get your morning started. And with doing so, today's lineup looking pretty good as we get the conversation rolling here when we get to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour. And of course, we will have our phone lines open, 622-9622. If you'd like to give us a call, share your opinion, and get another topic for us to talk about, please do, 622-9622. We'll work our way to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be Life South Community Blood Centers. We'll be discussing things with Galen when it comes to giving the gift of life and donating blood. As we mentioned yesterday, we were discussing quite a bit about the decision that was made with college football and the idea of the Big Ten and the Pac-12 canceling their fall sports. As I know we were talking about football and the idea of no college football, but that goes for all fall sports for those conferences. And we're still seeing what could happen from there, as the idea of them still talking about maybe doing it in the spring, which does not sound feasible to my opinion at all. It's, man, that's asking a lot. And then, like we said, if you really care about their end-all, be-all safety and health, then 2 seasons within 1 year, I do not think is the answer. Nonetheless, as we move on from that, when we get to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be doing our news bits of news that we can chew within the local area of Ocala, as we bring you more that way and keep that conversation rolling. Also, too, from there, we will roll to the top of the 9 o'clock hour, with it being Thursday. That's right here at The Source with our special Thursdays AM Ocala Live. You get Veterans News at 9 o'clock, which we'll be bringing that to you with Hank and Gary to be calling in and give you all the updates they can about you as a veteran and what you can do to seek help. And also, for those who are wanting to help veterans, stay tuned for Veterans News today, this Thursday, 9 o'clock. And then after that, we'll bring you well, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, proud sponsor of the show, as we have had him for a while, as we're going to talk with Lori Williams to find out what deals they've got going on at the nursery this weekend to maybe get some more things planted before the afternoon rain showers roll in with that expectation of 70% chance of rain. But if you can get everything planted and situated when it's cooler, and at the same time put in the ground before it rains, then that'll be tip-top shape. We'll find out what deals there are between the trees, the flowers, the plants, and some of the other extra stuff that they got to make your backyard patio or landscape look phenomenal. For Bob Wine's Camellia Garden, same blooming place since 1952. And we'll roll from that, as we did touch on it just a little bit. But when we get to the top of the 10 o'clock hour, we'll be doing On This Day in History as we take a look at certain events that have transpired on this day in history. And we got some good ones here for you today, as we did a little bit yesterday. And we'll be rolling through then to the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour. We'll be talking with County Commission to find out any news or more updates going on within the county that we can give you from County Commission, as we keep you right here informed and a little entertained right here at The Source. We're going to take a short little break here as we make our way towards the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, and when we do, we'll bring you the national news. And then when we come back from the national news, we'll be giving you our Ocala Quick Minute News for some of the updates within Florida that give you some of the information you need to get that day started. Like we said, right now, 73 degrees, as we can see a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. And also, too, with some of the conversation we'll be rolling with after the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, as we take a look at how, well, the teacher unions and how they're driving the schools in some areas to reopen. And we know in some states, like ours, it's the other way around. So we'll discuss a little bit of that. And also, too, with the talk of that college football, as Nebraska's bailing on the Big Ten, and maybe more than bluster in the idea of them still having a season and breaking away from the Big Ten to do their own thing. We'll pay attention to that. So there's a lot of good stuff coming our way. As like we said, we had a good show yesterday. Wednesday was chock full of everything, as we welcome Embrace Magazine for the last half hour of the show, and a lot of good stuff there. And we welcome you this morning, this Thursday, as we do, and we're going to bring you another one. Veterans News. We're gonna roll with another good show, and it feels better, folks, because like we said, we've got more content. Other than this coronavirus all over the place. Some things feeling like there's just, there's more to talk about. There's more variety, obviously, with sports and everything like that. But at the same time, it just feels like, as we're in August, and by the way, we're getting towards the middle of August, it already feels like we're halfway through the month, but it's just one of those things. Anyways, we welcome you to the show. We say good morning. We'll have our phone lines open, 622-9622. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin, AM Ocala Live. More to come. Back after this.
I'm Karen McHugh. Democrat Kamala Harris was officially introduced by Joe Biden at an event in Delaware Wednesday.
In just 83 days, we have a chance to choose a better future.
Soon after, on Fox's Hannity, Vice President Pence said he's looking forward to debating Harris so he can put a spotlight on
the agenda of the radical left, the agenda that she's embraced throughout her political career.
The two are scheduled to meet on the debate stage in October.
Fox's Jill Nato reporting hundreds evacuated in the face of a fast-growing wildfire in Southern California.
This fire is moving without any or minimal winds on it. As we anticipate later in the fall season, where we get the Santa Ana winds.
LA County Fire Chief Dave Richardson. America is listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 13.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast, a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala, at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Why call two men in a truck? If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You call 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained, professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. You call 352-289-0666. People who care about your things as much as you do. Time is of the essence, and you want it done fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, the movers who care. Visit twomeninatruck.com today and get moving. So call 352-289-0666.
2 Men in a Truck. Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honey-do list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now from Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half-mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
Come and join the Marion County Search and Rescue on August 15th at AMF Galaxy East. This is a fundraiser to support this all-volunteer community organization. It's open to everyone. No scratch games, no handicap. Just lots of fun for a great cause. The cost is $25 per person. It's a 40-frame game. There will be a 50-50 raffle and prizes. Cash award will be given to the top 3 bowlers. Again, that's August the 15th at Galaxy East. Walk-ins welcome, but early registration is recommended. Contact Galaxy East for more information and register. 352-694-1111.
WOCA.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots. High 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
And welcome back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, as we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As now it's time for our Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, this Governor Ron DeSantis has a back-to-school message from the Florida Capitol in a speech with no reporters, no questions. As the governor said, the brick-and-mortar classroom is the best way to educate kids.
They are in a safe environment where they can have that connection to their teachers that distance learning cannot quite provide.
As Governor Ron DeSantis with a pep talk from the state capitol as more Florida children and teachers go back to school. The governor has encouraged districts to offer online learning or a hybrid so that parents can feel comfortable about their child's health. Oh, Christ. DeSantis also indicated some coronavirus numbers can be stale, quote, stale, as the latest stats show more than 8,700 new cases and 212 additional deaths in Florida due to the coronavirus. A Star Wars ride at Disney World is open again after a lightning strike shut it down on Monday, as a guest captured it all on video, saying that the bolt appeared to have hit one of the taller mountains inside Galaxy's Edge. Says meanwhile, there's a hearing in Tallahassee today on the Florida Education Association lawsuit challenging the emergency order requiring schools to reopen to face-to-face learning. FEA President Frederick Ingram says administrators and teachers are doing the best they can.
But guess what? They're doing it with lack of funds. And the governor has said nothing about money that is going to take to educate these children given our new normal.
As school districts outside of South Florida risk losing state funds if they don't open brick-and-mortar classrooms. Jacksonville-based Steinmart is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. CEO Hunt Hawkins said the impact of the coronavirus is a challenging retail environment as he caused significant financial distress on their business. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets will meet in Game 2 in Toronto in the Stanley Cup quarterfinals in Toronto, as Tampa Bay won the first game 3-2 after 5 overtimes, as they more than 6 hours for that hockey game. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Back after this.
Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots. High 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
Our quality of life is what makes Marion County unique. Our parks, farms, lakes, and rivers are why we live here. Now, Marion County is facing so many challenges, and our future may be in jeopardy. Craig Curry is up to the challenge. Count on Craig to encourage job growth, protect our horse farms, and ensure law enforcement and firefighters have the tools they need to do their job. In these challenging times, we need proven leadership we can count on. Craig Curry for County Commission.
Paid by Craig Curry, Republican for County Commission.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
When voting in an election primary, every candidate is going to say the same things you want to hear, but only one of us has the experience on day one to keep those promises. But in my first 100 days, I'll have more legislative introductions than any member in history. It's about time you had a voice in Congress, not just an ear in Washington. Visit mulattoforcongress.com to learn more on how we will solve our nation's top issues with good policy, not politics. I'm Joe Dallas Mulatto, and I approve this message.
WOCA.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
Welcome back to the show as you're listening to AIM Ocala Live, WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we welcome you this morning, Thursday, August 13th. 74 degrees outside, very sticky, very humid. 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. In the talk of weather, as we continue to just keep you updated in the idea of Tropical Depression 11 as it continues westward on its trek. As Tropical Depression formed in the Central Atlantic on Tuesday, and it's expected to develop into a tropical storm, and that would be Tropical Storm Josephine. And that's what they're expecting this week. But this storm, as they're saying, may not last long, as the continuing a historic start for the 2020 Atlantic season. The Tropical Depression 11 originally formed over the Central Atlantic on Tuesday afternoon. It says on Tuesday the system appeared to have healthy amount of thunderstorm activity and a defined center of circulation, allowing the National Hurricane Center to officially classify the system as a depression. Now, the storm is expected to strengthen into Tropical Storm Josephine maybe today, as it's had trouble getting more organized so far. And this storm may have a difficult journey ahead of its tracks west, saying, quote, "I doubt it can survive the shear," said Mike Clay, "but it's nearing the peak of the season, so we have to watch everything." With that being said, as the Orlando-based meteorologist David Heckard explained on Wednesday why this storm will likely not be a concern for Florida and the southeastern United States, saying if it were to develop into a named storm, it would be named Josephine and become the 10th named storm of the Atlantic season. It says this would mark the earliest J-named storm on record, beating the current set by Tropical Storm Jose back in 2005, which developed on August 22nd of that year, which was then the day after Hurricane Katrina formed. Now, in the ideas, the 2020 tropical season in the Atlantic already set records for C, E, F, G, and H. Oh, yeah, and I named storms. It says Typically, the 10th named storm doesn't form until about mid-October, and still a rough month away from the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. While the depression developed in a similar area to where Tropical Storm Isaias formed, where a few weeks ago, it says this storm looks to have a lower probability than Isaias for surviving the long trek across the Atlantic. And it says, or it does hold together over the next few days. It's expected to be a relatively weak storm as it moves through the western Atlantic. Its potential track of the depression is in the southern Bahamas or the northern Lesser Antilles, though it means the tropical wave bears careful watch over the next few days as high wind shear and drier air look to impact the storm and the system later this week, once it moves closer to the Lesser Antilles of the eastern Caribbean Sea. And now the spaghetti models have it turning fairly sharp even prior to coming near the beginnings of the Bahamas. So almost to a point where we can probably rule that one out as such, as they're even talking by Tuesday of next week. It'll just be a low that'll be off the coast far enough that it won't even impact the eastern seaboard of the United States. So there's some good news there in the idea of where we see that weather as that moves through. But we'll always keep our head on a swivel as we know that we're going to be getting to the heightened season here soon. So nonetheless, keep an eye on that. Now, everything going on with the coronavirus and the pandemic and the idea of everything that's come along with the business side of things, when it comes to what it's had to have shut down in lieu of everything with stay-at-home order and all that good stuff. Well, the big thing is the idea of restaurants. And we know that it's been a struggle for mom-and-pop restaurants altogether. Well, they're not necessarily the only ones taking the impact, as now 6 national restaurant chains in deepest trouble amid this COVID-19. And they're ones that are pretty common that you might be surprised are actually on this list. As this coming up yesterday, it says casual dining chains were already facing challenges before COVID-19, by the way. They're hurt by the rise of fast casual competition and increasing food costs, as now several of the largest companies in the United States are struggling with the capacity restrictions on indoor dining and attempting to lure customers with takeout in a bid to avoid financial disaster. It says the owners of chains like Outback Steakhouse, Applebee's, and the Cheesecake Factory are on the newly updated list of national restaurants that are facing the highest likelihood of not paying back their debts. When companies default on loans, they are often forced to file for the bankruptcy protection, close locations, or occasionally liquidate. One chain, which is the California Pizza Kitchen, already filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection with the plans to close more and more locations. Now, in the idea, while the nation's largest publicly traded restaurants face a less than 1 in 5 chance of defaulting in the next year, according to the new report by S&P Global Ratings, they remain in perilous terrain. It says analysts are particularly concerned about the coming winter, which will eliminate outdoor seating options for many restaurants and the demise of the extra $600 of unemployment benefits that had been available for jobless Americans. Congress currently debating whether to extend those benefits, obviously. Now, quote, the odds that the largest publicly traded U.S. restaurants will default fell in recent months as states allowed businesses closed by the coronavirus pandemic to reopen, S&P says in the new report. But the ongoing financial hits from the virus and uncertainty over whether laid-off consumers will receive expanded unemployment benefits to continue pressure in the industry as more companies enter bankruptcy. Sales at restaurants and bars fell 26% in June compared with the year earlier, according to S&P, but some are farther behind than others. In contrast to sit-down chains, publicly traded fast food companies are holding up very well because you don't have to get out of your car. In large part due to the robust drive-through offerings. For example, McDonald's has a less than 1 in 200 chance of defaulting, according to S&P. Yeah. Chain like Dave & Buster's, this chain, which relies heavily on their reputation as entertainment venue, in addition to its food offerings, has a 16.1% chance of defaulting in the next year, according to S&P, and it's the worst credit rating among the nation's largest restaurant companies. Dave & Buster's recorded a net loss of $43 million for the quarter ended in early May, but the company has taken steps to raise money, including securing new investment financing, that they have significantly improved its chances of surviving without defaulting, according to S&P. Now, the idea is a store like that, or a restaurant like that, Dave & Buster's, is that the kind of restaurant that you see when we actually get things kind of more back to normal, like the place you'd want to go? Not necessarily for the food, but for something to do. All the video games and everything they have going on there, and there's something to do. So maybe they feel that once this actually comes back to where we get things more open and people are doing more, that a place like that might actually succeed a little bit. But already record of a net loss of $43.5 million already puts a hurt. Big time. Dave & Buster's. Outback Steakhouse says this chain, whose famous Bloomin' Onion shares a first name with the restaurant's parent company, faces a 13.5% chance of defaulting, as that's up a little bit. This company said in a statement on July 24th that comparable restaurant sales at locations that are allowing indoor dining fell 10.5% for the week ending in July versus the year earlier. But the company said it was moving in the right direction, saying, quote, across our U.S. portfolio, we experienced consistently weekly sales momentum through the second quarter as we adapted to the evolving environment. The improved sales recovery, coupled with the disciplined cost management, enabled us to generate positive cash flow for the month of June, as they said in a statement. Also on the chopping block, or the idea of thinking it might be, is Denny's, known for its all-day breakfast, as they face an 11.5% chance of defaulting. As Denny's sales have been improving since June, but its year-over-year sales, Moons over Miami sales, declined worsened in July, according to the company's most recent earnings report. Sales for the week ended July 22nd were down 41% compared to the year earlier. CEO John Miller said in July 28th statement, saying, quote, we believe we are well positioned to effectively navigate further impacts of the pandemic while preparing for eventual and future growth. Don't they all say that before they actually close their doors? Because they got to give a false, or they have to give a sense of positivity, right? Like up until the doors close, they're going to be like, we're moving in the right direction. Things may happen. They might. 41%. That's a lot. It's more than half. Almost half. Crazy. As we take a look, one of the other ones, which I think was having issues for a while, was the Cheesecake Factory, having already failed to make rent payments on time in the spring, because I'm sure where a lot of the Cheesecake Factories are located, it's very, very expensive. It says the Cheesecake Factory has been facing financial trouble since the start of the crisis. On the other hand, experts say the company's decision not to pay rent on time might have been a negotiating tactic with landlords. Still, the company faces an 11.5% chance of defaulting on debts, and that's according to the S&P. The other one is pretty popular, is your Applebee's. It says Dine Brands Global, which owns both chains, has an 11.5% chance of defaulting. That's your company's IHOP and Applebee's. In the month leading up to July 26th, Applebee's locations fell 18.5% compared to the year earlier, while sales at IHOP declined almost 40%. And that's because no one's going out for breakfast. That's the problem. Don't you miss that a little bit, as being able to, I guess you could still do it, but obviously it's limited capacity. But that was a big thing that was missing for most of those months. It's just the ability just to go out and have a big full breakfast. But more people are doing it from home now. Despite these declines, Dine Brands Global, Steve Joyce, says that in July 29th, the statement saying, I'm confident in the long-term strategy and the ability to quickly adapt to the ever-changing industrial landscape. That's what they all say. You got to. All the way up until when the doors close, right? Got to give that sense of security. And it's all around the same quote. I'm confident in our long-term strategy. What kind of... I guess you're just thinking, let's just get through this, right? And I guess. BJ's restaurant, known for its pizza and beer, has a 9.5% chance of defaulting. Like Denny's, the situation at BJ's deteriorated from June to July, and the company was hurt by California's decision to shut down indoor dining. As the company said, late July sales were down almost 40% from the year earlier, compared with a decline of about 30% that was in June. Crazy. It's just one of those things that's going to be changing overall, I guess, to an extent. I don't know. Interesting nonetheless when you think about those restaurants, because if they're the ones that are hurting so bad, then how does that make you feel about those mom and pop places, right? As you know, they've taken a hit, but in the idea of actually trying to do their best to stay open, at least they can maybe try to navigate in certain instances because they are with their own decisions and how they run it. That's interesting nonetheless. One of the last things to mention before we head to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, I thought this was a little interesting here, as this comes about as a summer's coolest drink trend. I don't believe this is beer, hard seltzer, and spirits take center stage in summer's coolest drink trend. And with that in mind are spiked slushies. Yeah, when you hear spiked slushie, you might think of a Slurpee mixed with rum, vodka, or another spirit, but this summer's coolest drink trend takes the concept of boozy frozen slush to new heights by using fresh ingredients and beer, hard seltzer, and other alcohols as a base. In the midst of a year with a whole bunch of, well, dreadful, they're saying something new and refreshing. Riding the wave of hard seltzer popularity, a chef at Katakora this summer shared a recipe for a White Claw slushie using lime, frozen mangoes, White Claw, and ice. Internet searches for hard seltzer slushies hit a new high in mid-July and trending here as we come to August. And Pinterest has found spikes in searches for slushies made with pineapple rum, Moscato, vodka, and lemonade. Alcoholic slushies can be made at home, requiring little more than a boozy base, mixer, ice, and a blender. How about that? It says beer-based slushies are popping up on menus across the country, including those using Natural Light's Natter Days and Delirium Red, a Belgian fruit ale. As Eric Schmidt, owner of Orange and Brew Bottle Shop and Tap Room in Downers Grove, Illinois, near Chicago, bought a slushie machine in late June to offset the money he lost due to the COVID craziness. And says the Orange and Brew has created a Frappuccino-like drink with Pabst Blue Ribbon with hard coffee. You believe that. But the clear frontrunner that has earned a permanent spot in their machine is a strawberry lemonade light lager, a slushie made with Natural Light's Natter Days. That was the first thing we put in there, and I think we sold about 150 in the first 2 days. It's not a big space or not a big deal for us. He says sales are steady and customers have come looking in for the drink. It says in attracting a wider audience with a typical craft beer drinker. Schmidt says slushy sales are a significant part of the business now, and he doesn't see the appeal wearing off. It does seem to be a novelty where people are like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm never going to do that again. More AM Ocala Live coming up when we come back. Stay tuned. Your Florida agricultural news, as well as Life South Community Blood Centers with Galen. More coming your way. AM Ocala Live back after this.
I'm Karen McHugh. Coronavirus jitters are causing New York City school principals to say no to reopening.
The Principals and Administrators Union sending this letter to the Chancellor and Mayor de Blasio, saying schools will not be ready to reopen for in-person classes September 10th, calling the city's reopening plans incomplete.
Fox 5's Linda Schmidt, the mayor, says their concerns are being addressed. Meanwhile, a couple of Americans are arrested in South America for selling a phony COVID cure.
Two men from Florida wanted by the feds for allegedly selling a bleach-like chemical as a supposed miracle cure for coronavirus disease and other things have been found in a beach town in Colombia. Mark and Joseph Grennan, who are from Bradenton, Florida, were using the town to ship orders of the bleach stuff, which they labeled as Miracle Mineral Solution.
Fox's Evan Brown. America is listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey folks, that long list of summertime bargains just keeps getting better at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. For example, crepe myrtles, which were regularly $9.99, are marked down to $3.99. Prices have been slashed by half on fruit trees including peach, apple, pear, avocado, banana, cherry, mulberry, guava, and blueberry, 50% off. The whole range of citrus trees, many bearing fruit right now, just $59.99, and you get a free bag of fertilizer. In shade trees, it's buy one, get one at half price. Large trees from just $19.99 to gigantic jumbo trees for $5.99 delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check the ad, BobWinesCameliaGardens.net, and get there early. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, daily till 4:30 in the same blooming place since 1952.
Today in Ag News from the Southeast Ag Network, USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service released their August crop reports on Wednesday, and Chris Hawthorne, field crop section head with NASS in Washington, D.C., says the U.S. cotton production estimate is down 9% from last year's crop.
All cotton production is forecast at 18.1 million 480-pound bales, down 9% from 2019. All cotton planted area totaled 12.2 million acres, unchanged from the previous estimate, but down 11% from 2019. All cotton area harvested is forecast at 9.25 million acres, down 20% from 2019. As of August 2nd, 54% of the acreage had set bolls, 1 percentage point behind last year and 1 percentage point behind the 5-year average. Cotton production in Georgia is forecast at 2.55 million bales, down 7% from last year. In Alabama, production is forecast at 950,000 bales, down 8% from 2019. Florida production is expected to total 165,000 bales, 20% below last year. In summary, all cotton production is forecast at 18.1 million 480-pound bales, down 9% from 2019. This is Chris Hawthorne with the USDA National Ag Statistics Service.
Thanks, Chris. For a link to see more U.S. crop report numbers, go to our website, southeastagnet.com.
WOCA. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots. High 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
Ocala.
As you're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. Be sure and hit like, as well as subscribe. So we're now 6 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. It's time for Life South Community Blood Centers with our good friend Galen. Good morning, Galen. Happy Thursday, buddy.
Hey. Yeah, hey, man. How you doing today?
Not too bad. Not too bad. The week's running fairly well here. It's just, man, some days you wake up and you're like, wasn't I just here? Then I just leave the seat. It's like I took a bathroom break is all it was. But a lot of the same topic is what was going on yesterday in the news as everything coming through with more information about the running mate of Joe Biden and then more with the idea of the Big Ten and the Pac-12 backing out of college football and fall sports for the fall, but still not a whole lot there with Nebraska kind of moving on to go rogue. But we discussed that a little bit yesterday and everything else. The other thing is with the weather, we do have a tropical depression out there. But actually, the good news is it doesn't look like it's going to impact us, even though it may turn into Josephine later today. So actually fairly quiet for a Thursday, I think, which is refreshing.
Yeah. I was pretty impressed with the announcement the Big 12 came out with, and they're going to play fall sports. I mean, they've all been guaranteed that now. So the pushback is really gaining momentum, and that makes me happy. I think everybody is really starting to be just fatigued by the whole thing. And part of that is the more information that comes out about this virus is the more they realize that it doesn't impact kids. It's not nearly as deadly as we ever thought.
Right.
And I think even the long-term health of whoever gets it is starting to wane.
Yes.
Especially, I said it yesterday, but if you're playing football, the least of your concerns right now, if you're playing football, is getting, as Trump is calling it again, the China virus, right? That's the least of your concerns. You're much more worried about, pulling your hamstring. You won't be able to practice for a lot longer if you pull your hamstring.
Right.
Than if you get this virus.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I really think we're on that precipice. Now, I don't know if that means when fans come back, that may be much longer. But I think we've crossed that hump. Big vote today, Friday for FHSAA. They have one of three options. Option one is they start fall sports and you can play and go full tilt starting the 24th. Option two is you push it back to September 1, or is it September 6th, I think?
Yeah.
I don't know what good that does. Or option three is you move football to the spring, which basically destroys the sports calendar for the bulk of those sports.
Right.
So you move baseball to the fall, and there's a lot of problems with that.
All right. Now, how likely do you see it just sticking to the number one option there, like we mentioned, for starting fall sports the 24th?
It seems to be, again, on social media, the people who are pro sports are really voicing their opinion. There's a lot of momentum for that one. The problem is the people who are on this board were not really voted on by the general public. They were voted on by their constituency, which is really the ADs and the principals all throughout the state of Florida. So you have several people on this board who really don't care about athletics. They didn't play high school athletics. You know, they don't. They're not a coach. They're not passionate about it. And so, people who say, "Oh, there's no way you could risk your life by playing a sport in the fall," have never spent any time with a high school athlete. You know, during the grind of the off season, where you're doing nothing but, you know, lifting the weights and working out, working on your skill development, just so you can play your senior year. And I'm not talking about the kids who ever expect to play ever again in an organized fashion. I'm talking about the kids who have just played baseball or football, for example, because they absolutely love the sport.
Right.
Or play volleyball because they absolutely love the sport, and this is their last opportunity to ever do that.
Yeah.
And that's what they're taking away. And that's the part that upsets me. That's why I would have never canceled spring sports last year. Because we've already taken it away from thousands of kids. You know, they made up graduation, which it's a significant thing. But, you know, those people who couldn't play their final baseball game or their final golf match in high school, I think that's a real shame. I hope it doesn't happen to an even larger proportion of athletes play in the fall than play in the spring.
Right. And, you know, with that being said, too, it's, I don't know, I guess when you look at the overall picture of it, I think you nailed it there in the beginning. We were talking about the college side of it. It's getting pushback. Like at the end of the day, more people are like, all right, we're seeing through it. You want us to listen to science. We're trying to listen to science, but we can obviously see this is a big CYA for lawsuit. This is something beyond what it really is for COVID. More people are seeing that. They're seeing it with the sports, and they're also like, well, then I'm not into it. Then this is getting absurd. Like it's almost with sports and all this conversation of it, it's made things more apparent about how it's not really for the foundation of what it was, say back in March or April with the COVID-19. It's something different. Sure. And like you said, it's refreshing that it is getting some of the pushback. Because before it almost felt like it was apropos to even like mention that. Like, you know, watching some of the sports talk shows and stuff is, you know, more coaches and everything that are getting asked about this express their opinion saying, yeah, it's wrong. We need kids playing sports. We need to, you know, they're doing what they need to anyway. They're already following your phases and guidelines. What more do you want these kids to do? They're doing everything you're asking them to do. And then you just, no, that's not it. We're done. Because like you said, somebody on the board who makes the decision, who doesn't really know that world, doesn't really know, you know, sports, so to speak. And it's interesting. It's interesting because I really feel like a few months ago it was, oh, well, I don't want to give my full opinion on it. We'll see when that time comes. And, you know, speaking the right speak. But now it's like, all right, come on, let's move forward here. And it's also like...
No, absolutely. It makes no sense if we're going to have kids in a classroom.
Yes.
That they can't play sports. And that's the bottom line, right? That to me is the threshold we are passing.
Yeah.
You know, and if I have one person, oh, they're going to cancel it. It's too late. It's too late. It starts, you know, next Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to school on the 24th.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to, I respect that. You know, if you have a pre-existing condition or you're living with someone who does, that's your choice, right? I believe in freedom and making that decision.
Absolutely.
But if a child or a student and their parent decide to go to school and to play a sport, that's their choice.
Yes.
Now, if my son had a pre-existing condition, or I did, and it was a real concern, or maybe my mom lived with us, we would have a serious conversation about it.
Right.
But that's not the case. And that's not the case for probably 90% of all those players.
Right.
So let them play.
And like you said,
let them play.
That would be your choice. If you guys discuss that as a family, that's to better your situation if you do have pre-existing conditions. You're not telling the entire school board to cancel sports because you might not participate.
Right.
That's the difference.
That's correct.
And that's where we're at now. It's funny how we've kind of gotten to a reasoning with not having a whole lot of logic lately. we've had to, as humans, like reset and recalculate everything here, even though we're not sure. So there's a reevaluation of logic, and we're starting to see that come through. And I was going to ask you this, partner. Being here with the media now, and I've been doing the quick minute news and kind of reading that. We used to record it, but I feel it's a little bit more fresh if I read it. And they always mention the new deaths in coronavirus, and it's now one of those things where even the way it's written, the way it's read, it's just a number now. Do you feel that even with anything mentioned, I don't even think a lot of people take the value of that number to heart too, because it's been so skewed for so many months about what you actually consider a COVID-19 death, that even now the way it's reported on, I feel like there's a lot of people sifting through reasoning and logic when it comes to even what's out there as far as news now.
Yeah, it's hard to trust it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because each state is reporting it differently.
So different. So different.
And so I don't know what that number means.
I don't either.
I'm not. And it's difficult because I don't want to discount those people.
And that's
not what I'm trying to do.
And that's why I brought it up like
tragic.
that. Right, because it's like I said, it's looked at as a number now, and that's how a lot of people are seeing it. But at the end of the day, those are human lives, and that's what we're taking a moment of consideration for. But like that's what I wanted to talk about is what you just mentioned. It just feels skewed. It feels different, and it's reported so different in so many different states.
That's correct. And I'm okay with that because each state should, because the way they run their state should be independent.
Yeah.
So there's a million different things on this, but I think we've passed the precipice. I think everybody's getting a little COVID fatigue.
Yeah.
And I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, because you're seeing them play basketball. You know, if the St. Louis Cardinals could just get through it so they could play a game, that would be great. But yeah, and I know they had a school in Georgia that had all of a sudden had all these COVID cases. Well, they haven't even been in school for a week before they popped up, so I'm pretty sure they didn't get it at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
The incubation time is a little longer than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now there's understanding about it, being contagious from that point on, but actually having acquired it in school is different. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
As we see, and the expectation is then with Marion County, the 24th, do you see an increase in numbers for the COVID cases, say 2 weeks into this school year as we begin Monday the 24th?
Maybe. Part of it is if you, they're probably asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Right? So they're not even getting tested. I guess if they test a lot more, then they're going to get a lot more tests.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it depends on how you feel about this. I've had 4 of my son's teammates on 2 different teams had COVID, and 2 of them never had a symptom, but their parent got it, and so they tested the whole family.
Oh wow!
And the kid who's 16 is like, I never had anything. I didn't even have a sore throat. So that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's tough.
That happens when you have the flu.
Yeah.
We used to joke about this all the time. Whoever gets that virus last in your house is the one who gets it worse.
Yeah. Yep. As we do approach that, that's any school year, partner. As we're mentioning with our son with daycare, it's the same thing. It's what we can expect. So we kind of have to ramp up the zinc and the vitamin C, but it's to be expected. And usually, lately, it's been the last couple school years. Yeah, I'm the last one to get it in the household, so it is a little bit more rough.
Makes it rough. And again, the second you go back to school and you're around more people, they bring that home. And everything else, I doubt that changes.
Right.
So,
now, you mentioned Friday. Friday is the vote with the FHSAA. You say one of those three ways will come about, like you said. They'll just start on the 24th as expected.
Well, and let's be clear, they've been kicking this thing down the can for months.
Yeah.
So they have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Now, not all schools have to honor it.
Okay. Okay.
So you can opt out at FHSAA because Miami-Dade already said they are.
Oh, wow.
They said fine because they said you will not. They have a big game and it brings in millions of dollars. It's one of their classics. And they said you will not have fans there. And they said, all right, we're no longer a part of the FHSAA. They pulled right out. There's no ramifications. They just can't play for the FHSAA state title, which doesn't mean much to those people anyway.
Right. And doesn't mean much for the season right now anyway either.
So yeah, Miami-Dade is already out of it, and then we'll kind of go from there. But you have to decide now whether they can play interconference.
Yeah.
Are they going to play within their district, or is each team going to play within their county?
Right.
So I know Marion County's got that fallback position of just playing other teams in the county.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's been talked about.
Do you agree with that?
But
at least?
As a backdrop, sure.
Sure.
As a backup plan,
because they're still playing.
Sure.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
and these kids don't. I mean, there's certain teams they want to play. Like Vanguard wants to play North Marion.
Yeah.
You know, that's right now is the biggest rivalry in the county. Forest is making they're on a resurgence. And so Forest wants a piece of Vanguard. Of that, there's no doubt. I don't think they're going to be able to get that bite. I think Vanguard will still beat them by 20, maybe 25. But Forest wants that.
But they want that. They want the opportunity just to play, just to say.
But North Marion wants to beat Vanguard. That's a serious thing for them. So,
yeah.
Let's see what happens.
God, even just talking about it like that fires me up, partner. That's high school football, college football. You know, at the local level, it's awesome. As we know that you'll be, if it does happen, bringing the games for Westport and stuff, and that's the thing that needs to happen.
Well,
it needs to happen.
And look at how large these stadiums are. You could easily socially distance and have fans in the stand. I'm serious.
Yep.
I mean, if I could go eat in a restaurant.
Yes.
Right? If I can go eat in a restaurant,
you can go eat inside.
then I can go watch a football game.
You can go sit outside and watch a football game.
Yeah. By the way, I had 3 or 4 people come up to me yesterday and go, "Wow, your city can't figure out if they're supposed to wear masks or not." I'm like, "That's true," because the mayor, vetoed the mask, and then the city council put it back into effect.
Right.
And so, I guess we have to wear a mask. I guess. I don't know. I'd love to talk to a police officer who's going to enforce that.
Right. Well, just like it was mentioned with the Marion County Sheriff's Office with Sheriff Billy Woods, is he said their enforcement are not going to wear it. He wants concise, effective communication to not be boggled by a mask because he knows of everything that goes on nowadays with law enforcement. He wants to make sure that that's not an issue. And he feels it's more risky to have miscommunication and then have things get escalated between the situation of, say, a routine traffic stop or something like that because of a mask. He's saying, no, get that out of here. I think it's more risky. So,
and I thought that was a fair comment.
So too.
And it was rational.
It was.
It was rational.
Right.
And again, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
If you own a business and you want me to wear a mask,
right,
I'll wear a mask. Why would you wear a mask outside? I don't know.
Riding a bike.
Again, if you have a pre-existing condition, then I understand. I really do. Then you should wear an N95 and not a gator. That's for sure.
The gator protects you from Astasia. It keeps you a little bit cooler, keeps the mud off you when you're mudding, and you look like a BA when you're out there fishing on the boat. Oh, and then you can still enter your Publix with it.
That's correct. That's right.
That's
right.
One of the other things about the mask too is it's taken this long to even bring a mandate this close to fruition. It's like, well, what difference does it make if it's now or if it was 3 weeks ago? Didn't we have a resurgence about 3 weeks ago? So what's the deal now with it? It's I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. But
it truly is, and I know in schools are going to have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
We'll see. Kids are much more malleable.
Yeah.
That's why every dictator and in the history of the world has always started with the youth, because you can get them to believe anything.
Yeah.
So they'll buy in, and heck, who knows? Maybe wearing a mask at school will become a new thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hip to be square.
It would be kind of silly, but there's a lot of things kids do that I think are silly.
It would be wearing a mask could become fire. It'd be fire. Isn't that the cool kids new word now?
Oh, and then your mask would have to match your outfit or something like that. My wife came home and told me that the other day.
Is that right?
She goes, I need to have some nice masks. So what are you talking about? I'm like, well, when I go out, I'm like, what are you talking about? What if we go to a restaurant? You can't wear a mask. And I'm serious. She's like, well, she works in a hospital. They give her a mask. I'm like, they give you a mask. But I can bring my own. I'm like, I told her, I said, I'm not buying a mask. I said, I'm just not doing it. My hard-earned money isn't spending $3 on that mask. And then she showed me one that was like $38.
Holy cow.
I said, oh, hell no.
Is that right?
Hell no.
What makes...
they have masks now that have rhinestones on them and all these things. I mean, they got to glam up everything. You ever see somebody's phone?
Yeah.
And it's got like all these doodads on it. I'm like, it's just a phone. It's just a phone.
Absolutely incredible. The times we live in, my friend, the times we live in.
Yes. Well, it's capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, in a way.
You might as well, if you're going to wear a mask, you might as well wear a nice one.
And if you're the person that's seeing an avenue of being able to get through COVID and still turn a profit, and you're thinking, I'm going to do it with a mask with rhinestones, God bless America and God bless your tenacity.
Yeah, my best friend is a T-shirt printer, right? He prints T-shirts. And he switched from making T-shirts to making masks back in February, and he said he's making a killing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, I love it.
I'm like, man, that's good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm not buying one, but good for you, dude.
No, he sent me a bunch, so I've got some. He sent me like 10 of them.
Yeah, but does any of them match the outfits that are necessary to wear?
None of them. None of them. They're just not a piece of paper. I mean, it's a T-shirt, so it's a little more comfortable.
That's right.
I'm sure it doesn't protect me from anything,
But hey, it fits the mandate and it fits the business you got to walk into. Logic.
I guess so.
My friend, as we move to the bottom here, the 8 o'clock hour, in lieu of Life South Community Blood Centers, giving a gift of life and donating blood.
Yeah. So today, obviously we're going to have the Boulevard, but call us at 622-3544 to make an appointment, or you can go to lifesouth.org. Our bloodmobile is actually getting service today, so it's not open to the public.
Oh, wow.
So come by and see us, and we'll take care of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there a specific blood type that you're still, I know you're in critical need of a lot.
Everything.
Everything? Gotcha.
Yeah, it'll take us a couple of days to get over the O-negative shortage.
Yeah.
So.
How was the turnout yesterday in lieu of giving blood?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. We made what we call our projection, which is good.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, it was a good day.
And I say that because knowing now that the Bloodmobile was on my side of town, knowing there was the Carlton Arms, and that's near the airport and everything, and we've got some students that are staying within Carlton Arms, so we know it's a good place there, and it's fairly busy. And I know that community there always like to help, and I know it's always good turnout when you guys have them there. So that's good. Well, we appreciate it, partner. As get safe to where you're going.
Oh, I was wondering if we were going to go through the whole segment without using partner. So on your bingo card, you can click off partner. You didn't say Roger.
Yeah.
But you did say gotcha. But you didn't get quite through all the way without partner.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
All right, man.
You take it easy, buddy. You got it. Oh, man. AM Ocala Live, as that'll wrap up our segment with Life South Community Blood Centers, as that's sponsored by your Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, as well as your Penn Flooring. We'll be back right after this.
Coronavirus jitters are causing New York City school principals to say no to reopening.
The Principals and Administrators Union sending this letter to the Chancellor and Mayor de Blasio, saying schools will not be ready to reopen for in-person classes September 10th, calling the city's reopening plans incomplete.
Fox 5's Linda Schmidt, the mayor, says their concerns are being addressed. Meanwhile, a couple of Americans are arrested in South America for selling a phony COVID cure.
2 men from Florida wanted by the feds for allegedly selling a bleach-like chemical as a supposed miracle cure for coronavirus disease and other things have been found in a beach town in Colombia. Mark and Joseph Grennan, who are from Bradenton, Florida, were using the town to ship orders of the bleach stuff, which they labeled as Miracle Mineral Solution.
Fox's Evan Brown. America is listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
WOCA.
David Moore here, running for Marion County Property Appraiser. I believe in faith, family, and freedom. I have over 29 years of experience in the real estate and finance industry. I own a local realty. I have a bachelor's in business and master of arts in leadership. I believe that my education and experience makes me uniquely qualified to be your next property appraiser of here in Marion County. I have both public and private sector experience. For more information, go to davidmoore.com. Political advertisement paid for and approved by David Moore, Republican candidate for Marion County Property Appraiser.
I pick Nick, Republican Nick Nickinen for Property Appraiser. Pick Nick, currently serving you as Assistant Property Appraiser with over 25 years of senior management experience. Pick Nick, the only state certified appraiser in the Republican primary. Pick Nick, to improve service so that you, the customer, can trust your property is appraised fairly and your tax dollars are spent wisely. Pick Nick Nickinen for Marion County Property Appraiser on or before August 18th.
Approved and paid for by Nick Nickinen, Republican for Property Appraiser.
Well, frankly, folks, the garden deals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens are so good this week. The best thing to do is go to bobwinescamelliagardens.net and check them out for yourself. Bob has crepe myrtles, now just $3.99. All summer succulents, 50% off. Get a whole big tray of 18 summer blooming annuals, just $18.99. All blooming and foliage hanging baskets are buy one, get one at half price. Button gardenia, buy one, get one free. And all chimes, pottery, indoor foliage, and more in the old-timey greenhouse are reduced 10 to 20%. And of course, all shade trees, buy one, get one at half price. Get on over any day this week, but come early for the best selection on the best deals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Lake Weir, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible, high 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots, high 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
Ocala. Welcome back as you're listening to AIM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live. That's right, YouTube Live, WOCA, the Source Radio. As we welcome you this Thursday, as we just wrapped up with Galen Life South Community Blood Centers, get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. 622-3544 for more information and making an appointment to get out there and donate. Dire need of everything, and as well as Life South is now testing all successful blood donors for the COVID-19 antibodies in search of that convalescent plasma as well. So get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. That segment's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. So we'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street in Ocala, where they offer the skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Any questions on how they're handling COVID-19 and what their expectations are for the rest of the month and the fall, they absolutely encourage you to give them a call, 352-854-6262. That's 854-6262. And of course, Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for well over 30 years. Every bit of their success is to their unrivaled customer service. Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs, with experience in both commercial and residential fields. As you can found them at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala. You found them? Yeah, you did. You can find them at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, 352-351-3420. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. As now, it's time for your Ocala Quick Minute News. As we take a look, it says Governor Ron DeSantis with a pep talk from the state capitol as more Florida children go back to school.
In a brief dinner time address, the governor talked about some bad COVID numbers that were released this week, but spent more time focusing on the importance of getting kids back into schools. That prompted thanks to teachers and administrators.
Thank you for refusing to let obstacles stand in the way of providing opportunities for our kids. This has been a difficult time, but I believe your hard work will do more than you know in getting our society back on its feet.
The governor said the school year needs to start with options for parents so they can choose between schoolroom or online learning for their kids. I'm Rory O'Neill.
As Governor Ron DeSantis has back-to-school messages from the Capitol Hill with no reporters or questions, as the governor said that the brick-and-mortar classroom is the best way to educate the kids. As the governor has encouraged districts to offer the online and hybrid types so that parents can feel comfortable about their children's health. At the same time, while there's a hearing in Tallahassee today on the Florida education lawsuit challenging the emergency order requiring schools to open for face-to-face learning, the FEA president, Frederick Ingram, says administrators and teachers are doing the best that they can.
But guess what? They're doing it with lack of funds. And the governor has said nothing about money that is going to take to educate these children given our new normal.
DeSantis also indicated some coronavirus numbers can be, quote, stale, as the latest stats show more than 8,700 new cases and 212 additional deaths here in Florida. As Jacksonville-based Steinmart is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, CEO Hunt Hawkins said the impact of the coronavirus pandemic, its challenging retail environment, has caused significant financial stress on their business.
As the Tampa Bay Lightning and Columbus Blue Jackets meet in Game 2 today in Toronto in the Stanley Cup quarterfinals in Toronto, as Tampa Bay won the first game 3-2 after 5 overtimes, which is a game that lasted 6 hours. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. We'll be back right after this.
WOCA. There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast, a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala, at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
Conservative Joe Harding. He's pro-life and A-rated by the NRA. Joe Harding will help stop sanctuary cities for illegal immigrants and stand with President Trump on bringing jobs back from China.
This is Joe Harding. Radical socialists are tearing down America. You can count on me to support law enforcement, our Constitution, and our president.
Joe Harding, endorsed by 2 sheriffs, law enforcement, firefighters, and State Representative Stan McClain. Paid by Joe Harding, Republican for State Representative.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like most people, you're moving and you work hard. You call 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained, professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. You call 352-289-0666. People who care about your things as much as you do. Time is of the essence, and you want it done fast and right. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, the movers who care. Visit 2meninatruck.com today and get moving. So call 352-289-0666.
2 Men in a Truck. Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference. Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honey-do list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now from Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half-mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
Come and join the Marion County Search and Rescue on August 15th at AMF Galaxy East. This is a fundraiser to support this all-volunteer community organization. It's open to everyone. No scratch games, no handicap. Just lots of fun for a great cause. The cost is $25 per person. It's a 40-frame game. There will be a 50-50 raffle and prizes. Cash award will be given to the top 3 bowlers. Again, that's August the 15th at Galaxy East. Walk-ins welcome, but early registration is recommended. Contact Galaxy East for more information and register. 352-694-1111.
WOCA.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots. High 89 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
Welcome back as you're listening to Ocala Live, WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Welcome back to the show as we're moving right along here in this Thursday, August 13th here. As 8:46 as we're 14 minutes before the top of the 9 o'clock hour, as we say stay tuned because then we have our Veterans News. But now it's time for a little bit of news, bits of news that we can chew as we look a little bit more local. Ocala Earth Fair Market that we know went out of business. Now, Ocala Earth Fair Market is set to reopen in the same location as the Natural Food Supermarket plans to reopen under new ownership in September after nearly a 6-month absence. 6 months after news broke that the Ocala Earth Fair would close, the Natural Food Supermarket announced that it's coming back to the same location, reopening at Shady Oaks Shopping Center at 2405 Southwest 27th Avenue, is scheduled for September and is part of a reboot of the chain, which includes the founders. In February, the original chain filed for bankruptcy and announced it would shutter all 50 of the stores across the country. Makes you wonder if they were still able to get the PPE, and that's what helped everything out, PPP. The new group, led by Asheville, North Carolina businessman Dennis Hulsing, plans to reopen a dozen stores by September, with the majority in North Carolina and South Carolina. Other stores will reopen in Georgia, Michigan, and Virginia, according to Betsy Bevis, a Earth Fair representative. It says 6 stores are currently still open. Right now, Ocala is the only Florida store set to reopen. An Earth Fair located in Gainesville closed in January. There were 14 stores open in Florida when the bankruptcy hit. The Ocala Earth Fair originally opened its 29,552 square foot store back in April of 2017, saying, quote, "We are excited to return to Ocala. The support in the area has been absolutely overwhelming," as Bevis wrote in the email. Earth Fair features organic fruits and vegetables, meats and seafoods raised without antibiotics, artificial hormones, and a wide selection of all-natural type products. We are thrilled to welcome Earth Fair back to Shady Oaks Shopping Center in today's unique retail environment, as grocery remains a staple for all communities, said Richard Birdford, principal and president of RD Management, which owns this center. The news delighted some of the store's loyal customers, saying, quote, "Thank you for reopening the best store ever by this far. This is the best thing to happen in 2020, wrote Karen Vega on the Earth Fair on the Ocala Facebook page. As Tamara Cartija also wrote, trying to rehire former employees is going to be important as well. As my husband and son were both rehired, which is important. And it says when the store first opened, it would announce that it would employ about 100 workers, with about 80 working part-time. It was not clear how many people the store employed when it did close. So that's some good news. As I know when I first took the reins here of the AIM Ocala show just a few weeks in with the news that it was going to close, it was disappointing for a lot of people. But now some good news, probably one of the better things for 2020 for people to look at. And they're thinking, my goodness, with so many people shopping and doing a lot more with home instead of going out to eat, yeah, there's a resurgence there with how much we know that the other stores, grocery stores here in town are making money with it. Why not open this one up? You know, it's going to come back full-fledged. But the big thing is the jobs that it's going to offer, which is some good stuff there. This one was kind of neat, just to mention overall. It says a Florida woman finds 10 identified eggs in her backyard and then films them hatching. How about this? If you had seen this, it says Theresa Atkinson of Navarre, Florida, said these snakes, which she said were black racers, hatched in her backyard here in August. It says Theresa Atkinson is not a snake person. So when she discovered a nest containing 10 unknown snakes in her backyard, eggs in her backyard, she had to find out what they were. As 10 unknown eggs in her backyard, had to find out what they were. She found the eggs under a piece of plywood near a shed at her Holly by the Sea home last week, saying, quote, "I have no idea how long they had been there or how long it was going to take for them to hatch." She said she took photos and then posted them on the neighborhood's Facebook group, asking for people to help identify them. Some commentators jokingly posted it could be Godzilla, while others said either lizards or snakes. Well, when she went back to the nest on Sunday to take more photos, she noticed a head peeking out of one of the shells. And I was like, quote, "Oh my gosh, I've got snakes being born here, and I don't know what they are." She reached out to a local man who routinely removes snakes from people's yards. He showed up and was able to identify them as a non-venomous black racer. As the snakes hatched, stayed for a minute and then left, leaving one egg. She used her iPhone to film a time-lapse video of it hatching, saying, quote, "I'm not a big snake fan, but it was super cool." So that's pretty neat there, nonetheless, as unidentified eggs turn out to be snakes. That's probably a good omen, isn't it? Some people who might think of it in the other way. That's a good omen. It's a good omen, right? To have snakes being born. Either way. Florida boat owners, this one that had come out and just a few days ago, as it's Florida boat owners to attempt and to set a world record for the largest boat parade. As this come through and through, it says Northwest Florida boat owners will attempt to set the world record for the largest boat parade. It says a group of boat owners along the Emerald Coast is less than a month away from a world record attempt for the world's largest boat parade on September 5th in Navarre. The Guinness Book of World Records lists the current record as 1,080 vessels in a boat parade, which was on September of 2014 in Terengganu, Malaysia. Says organizers Tom Petska and Anna Zangerhorn think that they will easily exceed the number after being involved with several other large parades in the region that they suspect unofficially already broke the record, especially the 4th of July parade supporting U.S. President Donald Trump at Crab Island in Destin. As they say, the upcoming record attempt, however, must be a nonpartisan parade to qualify. There's no politics involved. It says no, so everyone is welcome. Saying, quote, I really do think we're going to set a record, said Petska, based on the history of those prior parades, and it's also last minute. It says participants must register boats in advance at the boatparade2020.com. The fee, the $12 fee, covers the cost of the technology and the platform for the registration, managing the data, collecting boat registration numbers, and printing official world record attempt flags with an assigned number. The attempt will begin at noon on the Upper Long Pritchard Point in Navarre, where they will stage the boats. Now, the official world record route doesn't have to be a specific distance, but it has to be a specified route. It says the world record attempt is 4.5 miles long, and it starts just east of Navarre, and it ends when they cross under the Navarre Bridge. As the world record boat parade attempt is taking place, you can find more information on it online. It's because of Petska's experience with parades. They think they will have success handling logistics of the parade turnout. I've learned a lot of lessons on what not to do in a boat parade, speed and safety being one of them. And everyone wants to be first, but everybody's part of the parade. But it doesn't matter where you are. This is one of the biggest problems faced with previous parades is getting everybody on the same page, the logistics of actually getting organized. They're all blasting different music. He contacted his friend Pete Manfredo, a former DJ at Studio 54, an iconic disco nightclub in New York City. Manfredo created a patriotic music stream for the parade so every boat can tune into it and play the same music through the app. And because of this, with the large parade in Mississippi, 200-300 boats will caravan from Mississippi for the record attempt. Say we have people coming from Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, and of course Florida. It says there are some boats over in Jacksonville that are trailing over for it, and it's going to be a big one. The organizers have plans to make a record attempt extra special as they bring it about. As Captain Jim, the owner of American Spirit Deep Fishing and Party Boat Tours, will co-lead the parade with a 100-foot charter boat. In it, he will make room for 50 wounded veterans and hometown heroes for the Wounded Warriors Project and Heroes on the Water, a nonprofit for wounded veterans and first responders. As they say, I've got goosebumps too. As Zingerhorn said, it's something that's near and dear to our heart. We love our country. It's the way to give back, and it's to be non-political to give back to our heroes. As they said, for more information about it, you can go to the Facebook group, or you can go to boatparade2020.com. But we'll see how that'll fare as that'll come through this weekend. Maybe the next report on it will be whether or not they actually did it, as I know that the boats out there can get crazy, as it's got to be somewhat well organized nonetheless. As we welcome you to the show, AM Ocala Live, as we move on here, just doing more news bits to get you to the top of the 9 o'clock hour. We say stay tuned for Hank and Gary with Veterans News, and as well as your Farmer Ranch headlines that we bring you with all of your agricultural news right here at the source to keep you a little informed and a little entertained. As a little bit more with news bits, as a pizza delivery worker in Ocala hits and kills a bicyclist. As this come out the other day, as the crash happened on the 2900 block of the Northwest 25th Avenue. As a 58-year-old man riding a bicycle was hit and killed by a driver making a pizza delivery on Tuesday night. So the 27-year-old five-star pizza driver stopped after the crash, which occurred at the 2900 block of Northeast 25th Avenue shortly after 9:30 p.m. Marion County Fire Rescue officials said that the victim was pronounced deceased at 9:43. The death was the 57th fatality of the year for the county. At about the same point last year, the number was 44. According to troopers on the scene, the bicycle rider was northbound on Northeast 25th Avenue. So was the delivery man who was driving a sport utility vehicle. Officials said that the driver struck the rider from behind, sending the victim in the eastbound grassy area where he passed. Troopers did not think speed was a factor in the crash. They said that the bicycle did not appear to have proper lighting. As Florida Highway Patrol officials did not release the names of the victim or the driver, but did say that both men were from Ocala. A man and a woman told the Star Banner that they saw the crash from their porch. The man said he directed traffic around the SUV and the bicycle after the wreck. He said he tried talking to the victim, but did not get an answer. Both he and the woman said that they seen the rider almost daily. He's riding back and forth on the two-lane road to the Shell gas station at Northeast 25th Avenue and 14th Street. Except for a few streetlights, the roadway is very dark, and usually dark, as the man and the woman said. As since construction is ongoing along Northeast 36th Avenue, traffic along 25th Avenue has increased, especially at night, as the roadway was blocked for more than 2 hours as troopers investigated the crash. And on Wednesday, Five Star Pizza officials called the incident a tragic situation as they declined further a comment of the respect for the victim's family. So a little crazy there. As we made our way to the 9 o'clock hour, AM Ocala Live, more coming your way. Back after this, stay tuned. Your Farm and Ranch headlines are next, and Veterans News as well. We'll be right back.
News, I'm Karen McHugh. Despite the continuing numbers of coronavirus cases across the state, Florida schools are beginning to reopen. Florida teachers are suing the state to stop it.
Everything they're saying in their lawsuit, which is so frivolous, is completely opposite of what we did. What we did is give maximum flexibility and maximum choice to the district so that they could protect their teachers, protect their students, protect the whole education community.
Florida Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran on Fox. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy drawing fire from congressional Democrats who claim his service cuts are slowing deliveries.
The new head of the post office, a political appointee, wants to slash and burn. And furthermore, they are opposing the Congress's desire to put $25 billion into the post office.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. America is listening to Fox News.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. USDA has issued their first production estimate based on the acres reported by farmers by July the 15th. They're showing Alabama jump from 158,000 acres to 167,000. That's a 5.6% increase. Florida, a surprise, thinking it was more, had 155,000 last year, got 160 this year. That's only a 3.2 increase in acreage. On Georgia, 660,000 acres, up to 700,000 acres this year. That means the average yield now has been predicted for Alabama at 4,100 pounds per acre. Last year they made 3,350. At Florida, 4,100. They made last year 3,800 pounds peanuts per acre. And Georgia's predicted to make 4,600 pounds per acre, and last year ended up with 4,200. But overall, it's a 6.2 billion pounds of peanuts. That's 3,106,000 tons. That's up 13% from last year. The area harvested is 1.47 million acres, and that is also up 6%. Other commodities, corn up 12% on their volume, soybeans up 25% to 4.42 billion bushels, and all cotton 18.8 million 480-pound bales, down 9% from last year.
Attention growers, don't miss the 2020 Vegetable and Specialty Crop Expo debuting online August 19th and the 20th. The virtual event includes a full lineup of seminars, and watch the educational videos at your convenience and earn CEUs. Pre-registration is required at vscexpo.com. Log on August 19th or the 20th for a chance to win a $200 gift card from Bass Pro Shops. Vegetable and Specialty Crop Expo is sponsored in part by Descender Curly Crop Vitality, Yara, Valent, and Syngenta.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When voting in election primary, every candidate is going to say the same things you want to hear. But only one of us has the experience on day one to keep those promises. But in my first 100 days, I'll have more legislative introductions than any member in history. It's about time you had a voice in Congress, not just an ear in Washington. Visit mulattoforcongress.com to learn more on how we will solve our nation's top issues with good policy, not politics. I'm Joe Dallas Mulatto, and I approve this message.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today and tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. High 91 to 94. High tomorrow, 91 to 93. Saturday, clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm possible. High 91 to 93. Sunday, plenty of clouds with a thunderstorm in spots.